making music ain't for everybody.
Stop trying to do everything, because then you're gonna get stuff that ends up sounding like this.
This is what it means to live in purpose. Yeah. If you ain't know, and all it ever took me was some focus. Yeah. If you ain't know, he told me spit the word without a pulpit. Yeah. If you ain't know, so I ain't letting go of my anointment. Yeah. If you ain't know, you already know what time it never is. Let go. I'm serving scriptures to the bodies that be lost in the street. Man, I ain't letting go of nothing, this the gospel to me. I'm never quitting, man, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm focused on my mission like I'm Moses walking straight through the sea. I got a pocket full of pennies cause my soul changed. Even that my Lord's never joined the dope game. Now I'm getting real comfy, let the coat hang. You know I'm in the building, man, I'm about to blow like propane. If all this rap is an issue, then you could grab a tissue. I'm saving lives with these verses, man, I won't even diss you. You got some hate on your spirit, man, it don't even fit you. You better step out my presence or else my God will fix you. Just know I'm living in purpose to every single daughter. I ain't gonna wait till you give it, man, I'ma take my flowers. Don't need no trophies or glory because he gave me power. I'll just keep repping the kingdom until the final hour. Purpose. Yeah. If you ain't know, and all it ever took me was some focus. Yeah. If you ain't know, he told me spit the word without a pulpit. Yeah. If you ain't know, so I ain't letting go of my anointment. Yeah. If you ain't know, never let go.
My purpose, man, it's locked down. Can't take it from me, no, not now. Ain't no way I'ma walk out. I'm fighting on for my God's crown. Got a problem with it, that's on you. Get behind me, Satan, watch God do everything that he said he would, and that's all faith, yeah, understood. Yeah, got a calling, we're showing up. Evil spirit need to step down, otherwise I'll be pulling up. Aftermath, y'all see the blood dripping down, got no love for the enemy. Holy, you better be telling my old self that he's dead of me. See these orders coming in, telling me to go spread the message. You can't tie me down, check it, we moving to the objective. With anointed sound, getting prophetic, y'all can't reject it. But with God, we make a move strictly because he said it. Woo. Ignore all the people that don't wanna see you do it for the kingdom. Glory be given to God, and we don't deserve it. When the yang comes, he's putting his heel right on the back of the neck, killing the serpent. The battle is already won, so
this is what it means to live in purpose. Yeah. If you ain't know, and all it ever took me was some focus. Yeah. If you ain't know, he told me spit the word without a pulpit. Yeah. If you ain't know, so I ain't letting go of my anointment. Yeah. If you ain't know, never let go. See, we only living in the purpose that God put us in, you feel me? Never let go. So never mind who you thought we were. Never let go. I know you feel like you the gatekeeper and everything. Never let go. But it ain't up to you. Yeah. You already know what time it is. Yeah. 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 I'm feeling like David. Yeah. Feeling like David. Yeah. Can't nobody slay me. Yeah. You can't slay me. I'm feeling like Moses. Yeah. Big Moses. Yeah. Can't nobody hold me. Yeah. Can't nobody. Yeah. I'm feeling like Daniel. Yeah. And what I'm daddy, yeah. Can't nobody face me, yeah. You can't face me. I'm feeling like Joseph, yeah. Big Joseph, yeah. Can't nobody break me, yeah. Can't nobody break me. Listen, why these haters tweaking? Acting like I don't need it. All of my pockets bleeding. All of my sneakers speaking. Never had a pot to piss in. Made a lot of dumb decisions. All of my sins forgiven. Now I got ammunition. No competition. This is the product of staying resilient. I'm gonna make it, don't need an opinion. Ain't gonna fumble, I'm here on a mission. I'm already winning. This is the vision. Feeling like Jesus in front of the millions. Making my mark with some bread and some fishes. Can't take the heat to get out of the kitchen. I'm feeling like David. King David. Can't nobody slay me. You can't slay me. I feel like Moses. Big Moses. Can't nobody hold me. Can't nobody. I feel like Daniel. Big Daniel. Can't nobody face me. You can't face me. I'm feeling like Joseph. Big Joseph. Can't nobody break me. Can't nobody break me. Listen. Stacking the green, I stay in the lab. Heat up the curry, I'm making a splash. Brother, he made me with clay in his hand. Shooting my shot like I'm Kevin Durant. From London to France, I cannot wait till I see all the beautiful cities and land. That is the plan, so I'm gonna need all my checks in advance. Do what I can, even without the best microphone. I'm finna make me a jam. Thanking my God for the things that I have. Turning my water to wine in the flash. Living in fear is a thing of the past. Ignoring the hate that I hear on the brand.
Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? Let me turn down the music. As you can see, we're here with our Tuesday live Q&A. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy WesTheTech, aka Connect. You know, of course, I'm all about helping you as independent artists. I'm all about sharing all the information that I have in regards to music industry tips and so on and so forth with you guys. So you guys already know about my Tech Tip Thursdays. I drop a video every Thursday, just helping you guys grow in your music business. And of course, I do these lives every Tuesday between noon and 1 to basically answer any music industry tip questions live, right? So of course, that's why I'm here today. I'm just going to wait until a couple more people join in before I start answering all the questions. If you're watching from IG, definitely check me out on YouTube. Join in the chat on the YouTube live, because the best question that is asked on my live today will actually get a free gift, and that is the ebook, The 13 Steps to Jumpstart Your Music Business. Of course, this is the physical copy of it. The physical copy is a little bit more expensive, so that's why I can't give this away for free. But I will definitely give the ebook away for free, which is the exact same thing. All you need is a smartphone or a tablet or something to be able to read it page by page. And yeah, best question that's asked today on this live will have a chance to win that ebook. And of course, if you're on the chat, just type in the chat, let me know you're here, let me know what's going on, and we're gonna get to these questions. Now, I had a lot of questions last week, all right, that I checked through my comment section of my videos and stuff. So I stacked up a lot of questions, and hopefully I could get through all of them today. It is a lot of questions. All right, so I'm just going to wait a few more minutes so that everybody else can join in, all right, because I want to make sure you guys don't miss out on all of these great questions and answers, because I do have the answers to most of them, if not all of them. And of course, guys, don't forget about my membership club right here on YouTube. If you want to be a part of the membership, you could get cool perks like one-on-one coaching sessions with me, one free session a month. You also get members only exclusive walkthrough videos and priority responses to the comments. My videos get flooded with comments. Even my oldest videos still get comments on them. So it's hard for me to actually get through all of them. I do get through them, but it takes a long time to do so. So if you want priority responses to your questions, definitely take a look at the membership perks. All you got to do is hit that join button on the bottom of the YouTube video. All right. But it's so good to see everybody. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer until more people start joining in. All right, because I got some great questions and I don't want anybody to miss out on it. Shout out to Lady Ace in Tampa joining in on IG Live. All right, great radio host. She has a radio station in Tampa. I'm actually gonna be sending her some of my music right after this. And me and her, we go way back when I was part of the Brotherhood, when I was part of a Christian hip hop group. She was actually responsible for our first radio interview as a group. So big shout out to her, and I can't wait to show her the stuff that I've been working on. CJ, what's going on, CJ? Thank you for joining in. Big shout out to CJ. Nice with the camera. I'm on YouTube Live just answering music industry tip questions for any independent artists. If you guys want to join in and ask your questions, go ahead and join in on my YouTube Live and type in the question in the chat. And best questions that is asked today will get a free gift on me. I see somebody is hearting on YouTube. Let me know who you are out there who's hearting on YouTube. I love to know where everybody's, watching from and things like that. And I especially love to see if you're international, because I like being international. You know what I'm saying? But we're about to get to the questions real soon. Just let me know who's logging in. Let me know who's here. All right. And start answering your questions so I can start building up a catalog of all the questions that I'm going to be answering. All right. So I'm pretty much just going to just start as more people come in. I'll just ask, or I'll answer more questions here. Oh, Mallory's joining in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining in. The Real One, thanks for joining in on IG. Of course, you can stay on IG. You can ask your music industry tip questions on IG. But if you want a chance to win a prize for asking the best question, hop in on my YouTube. All right, and ask the question in my YouTube chat box. All right, and the best question that's asked will get a free gift on me. All right, so let's go here to our first question. Our first question that I stored here from last week. Let's pull it up here. First question was asked on my DistroKid Leave a Legacy video that I did a while back. All right, so this question was asked by Chad Ages, all right, about 6 days ago. And basically he stated that, okay, the video was super helpful. That's awesome. Just have a quick question. How many songs can one release allow when selecting the Leave a Legacy option? For example, 5 songs EP, Leave a Legacy 29 one time, or 5 songs EP, Leave a Legacy times 29 a song, one time fee. My apologies, I get super technical with this type of stuff. This is actually a great question. Essentially what Chad is asking here is, when it comes to DistroKid's Leave a Legacy option, do you actually have to pay per song, or do you pay per release? All right, it's a very great question, and I'm glad you asked it, because that is important for clarification. All right, Sergio, I see you joining here. Thank you for joining in. Of course, I'm here to ask or answer any music industry tip questions. You could ask them right here on IG Live. But if you want a chance to win a prize for asking the best question, go ahead and join me on YouTube right now, on YouTube Live right now, and type in your question on YouTube for a chance to win. All right, so to answer Chad Age's question, it is in fact per release. All right, so it's not per song, thank God, because imagine if you got a 12-track album and you got to do $29 per single or per song on that album. That could add up very quickly. It's actually per release, per project. So if you do a single, it will be $29. If you do an album, it will be $29. And if you do an EP, it'll also be $29. It's per release and not per single. That was actually a great question asked by Chad Ages here. And yeah, great question. And for any one of you who is also thinking the same, I hope that answers it for you as well. Miss Juicy G, what's going on? Thank you for joining in on IG. Glad to see you. All right, of course, you know where I'm at. I'm on YouTube. If you got any music industry tip questions that you want answered, same as you, thank you for joining B1G. If you have any music industry tip questions that you would like answered today, go ahead and type in the question on my YouTube. You can type it in on IG, but for a chance to win a free gift, you want to hop in, watch this same live on YouTube, and type in your question on the YouTube chat here, and you may get a chance to actually win a free gift. All right, so make sure you're watching this on YouTube to get all of those benefits. So that was a great question here by Chad Ages. All right, we're going to move on to the next question here, because like I said, I got a lot of questions that was built up this week. So I want to get through as much of them as I can within this hour. All right. Again, for those of you who are joining in on YouTube, just let me know where you're watching from. All right. Post your artist links or whatever. I'll follow, I'll share, and all of that good stuff. All right. So the next question here was asked by Robin Leaf. All right. And this question was commented on the how to register your song with ASCAP video that I did. All right. So the message states that, or the comment states that, very helpful, thank you. Right now, I'm just putting up performances on YouTube, and I've been performing them on stage for a long time. A performer, nice. So my songs are out there. I also have some demos on SoundCloud. Okay. Does YouTube count only as performance since I haven't formally released the songs yet? Some of my songs have been performed by other people, but no one has formally released them. Does that mean I can't register yet? Okay, this is a loaded question, and I feel like I got to break this question down and go through a couple of key things that I do want to mention when it comes to just what I'm seeing in this question in general. Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to YouTube, if your song isn't officially released yet, isn't officially distributed through a music distributor, all right, then the only credit you will actually get for your music, or the only royalties you will get, is the performance. So to answer that question, yes, you would actually in fact have to release your music through a music distribution company, get it registered with a performing rights organization, get it registered with all of the different areas that you need to get it registered for. Once you get it registered through everything, you'll be able to collect all the royalties that is due to you, all right? But if you don't ever release the song, you're going to be missing out on a lot of royalties. So I would strongly advise that that's something that you do as soon as possible, all right? Make sure you do that as soon as possible. Now, I did want to make a note about how you said you have some songs out there on SoundCloud. All right, now I am very, very against SoundCloud. SoundCloud is not something that I recommend any artist to use. All right, primarily because when it comes to SoundCloud, if you don't fill out the metadata the correct way, you actually will not receive any revenue on SoundCloud for your music. You won't get any streaming credits whatsoever, any streaming royalties, if your metadata isn't filled out the correct way. Now, the interesting thing about SoundCloud is, of course, you could upload your music to SoundCloud directly and people could listen and everything like that. But the proper way to actually get your music on SoundCloud is actually through a music distribution service, right? So like DistroKid or any of the others out there like Symphonic and this, that, and the third, right? If you don't actually distribute your music through a music distributor and you just upload through SoundCloud directly, you're not going to ever get paid for that, all right? Believe me, I made that mistake myself long ago when I first started doing music. All of my songs were on SoundCloud. The metadata wasn't filled out, and I never got paid a penny for any of the streaming, right? This is why I don't particularly recommend SoundCloud, not only for that purpose, but also for the purpose of they don't really pay much, right? You actually get paid more if people listen to your music on Spotify, Apple Music, and everything else. Actually, SoundCloud, I think, has the lowest pay per stream amount, right? So SoundCloud is just, in my opinion, not the best to look into regardless. All right. Now, of course, there are some other things about SoundCloud that I primarily don't like. All right. Nothing against them. It's just I don't think your focus should be on SoundCloud when it comes to artists. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share this link here in the chat. All right. And in this video, there's a video I did that I explained SoundCloud even more thoroughly and more things about it, just so you have a better understanding and better perspective of what SoundCloud does for you overall. Right. I see Ms. Juicy said, dang, yeah, SoundCloud, it's great for exposure for sure. All right. There's nothing against exposure, but when it comes to actually payouts, it's not the best. Didn't think it could get any lower than, oh no, it's much lower than Spotify. It's much lower, and it's crazy lower than Spotify. All right. So I don't remember the exact number, but last time I checked, you needed 360 streams to get $1 on Spotify. For SoundCloud, you needed like 700 or 800. It was crazy. It was over double the amount that you would have needed for Spotify. So whatever amount of streams you need for Spotify to make $1, you would only get 50 cents if it was SoundCloud. It's that bad. And like Ms. Juicy said, Spotify is one of the lower ones. But honestly, a lot of them are that low. The highest one that you could get paid off of right now would probably be Tidal. Tidal, I think you get, for every stream, you get $1. But matter of fact, since I'm on this live right now, we could check this. Let's just check this. It's been a while since I looked, but there is an easy way to look royalty And that's by Google. Royalty, or yeah, streaming royalty calculator. Streaming royalty calculator. Now, these aren't always accurate, but sometimes I like to just look at a few different websites just in case. If you wanted the exact amount per stream for every streaming service, you would have to go into their terms and conditions, all right, which takes much longer to get through if you want to get through all of them. But some of these websites here are really great for this. Music Gateway has a good calculator, so I'm just going to do theirs real quick, and let's just take a look. And I see Curry One Code actually joined in here on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Let me know where you're hailing from. And also, I do see your question. I will be getting to your question soon. All right, so we're going to do this stream, number of streams. Let's see. I'll just put, well, I like it when it shows you how to $1 instead of the number of streams. All right, let's try it anyway. Let's see. 360, calculate. All right, so okay, so here's the example. All right, so if you had 360 streams on a song, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you should be able to see it. If you're watching on IG, you won't actually be able to see this. So I urge you guys, join into the IG or join into YouTube so you can see what we're all seeing together and ask your questions right here. But if you had 360 streams, you would make $1.40 on Spotify, right? That's with 360 streams. For Apple Music, you will make $1.80, so you actually will make a little bit more. For Tidal, which I said earlier is the best right now, you will make $4.32, right? SoundCloud is on the bottom of the list here. You would only make 47 cents with 360 streams. As you can see, it's less than half of what you would make on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that. So SoundCloud is one of the lowest, if not the lowest. According to this, it's the lowest, but this doesn't have all of them. All right. Again, these aren't accurate, but this is estimated, right? Let's go. Let's do 1,000 streams, right? 1,000 streams, and let's calculate. So with 1,000 streams, you will make $4 on Spotify. You'll make $5 on Apple Music. You'll make $12 on Tidal. And you would make $1.30 on a SoundCloud. Amazon, you'll make $5, same as Apple Music. Pandora, you'll make $1.40. YouTube, $1.75, right? But here's the thing. I know you guys are looking at this chart and you're looking at SoundCloud and YouTube. You're like, wow, YouTube and SoundCloud are the lowest. That is true, but the YouTube number is deceiving, right? Because when it comes to people listening to your music on YouTube, this is just the stream aspect of it. All of these other streaming services, you're only going to get paid off for the streaming. With YouTube, not only do you get paid off of the YouTube streams, but you get paid for the YouTube ads, and you also get paid for the YouTube content ID. So you get paid 3 or 4 different times, or 3 or 4 different ways on YouTube. So even though this is low on the list, YouTube, really, once you factor in everything, it's much higher on this list. This is just streaming specifically, all right? But, and I see you, Miss Juicy joining in. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you see the numbers? It's crazy. It's very horrible. SoundCloud is very bad. And again, this is only if you fill out the metadata correctly. So if you don't fill out the metadata correctly, you won't even get this. You won't ever get paid from SoundCloud if you don't fill it out correctly, all right? The best way to fill out the metadata is by distributing your music through a music distributor. That's counterproductive because if you're going to distribute your music to a distributor anyway, you might as well have it on Spotify and Apple Music, and it doesn't cost you any more to have it on all the streaming services anyway. So if you're going to have your music on all the streaming services anyway, even though you're focused with SoundCloud, why not change your focus to Spotify or Apple Music or something that pays out more? You get what I'm saying? It only makes sense. There really isn't any true benefit to having your music on SoundCloud, all right? Now, let me see if I could show you guys what I mean by the metadata. I just want to spend a little time on this because this is something that's not talked about a lot, and I see a lot of artists, every time they send me a link to a song, they always, they'll send it through SoundCloud, and I'm just like, no, do not use this. Do not use this. Let me see. Ooh, I don't remember my login whatsoever. Let's try. Let's see. Because I got to show you guys exactly what I mean here. Boom, 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 boom. Give it a second. All right. So I still have an account, but all of my songs are like private. Like they're locked in only for people who needs specifically a SoundCloud link, because some places need just a SoundCloud link. But I'm gonna go to edit to this song here, and this is what I'm referring to right here: metadata. All right. All of this needs to be filled out, and it needs to be filled out the correct way in order for you to actually get paid. All right. Now, here's the part that I'm talking about. Of course, you can fill out this information. It's even easy information. But this information right here, the ISRC code, you see this code right here? You're not getting that unless you've bought your own ISRC codes or you distributed your music through a music distribution company. So like I said, if you just upload your song to SoundCloud, you're not going to have this. The only way you're going to get this is by signing up with DistroKid or one of those distributors and actually distributing your music through them. Then they will issue out an ISRC code. From that point, you would take that ISRC code and put it into the metadata for SoundCloud so that you could get paid. If this is not here and this down here isn't here, you're not going to get paid off of your music at all, no matter how many streams, no matter how many. You can have 1 million streams on here, you won't get paid a single penny for it unless that is filled out. But again, that can't be filled out unless you use a music distribution company, and you're doing all of that just so you can make, what was it, $1.44 off of 1,000 streams. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not worth it. SoundCloud is just never the ideal option to choose or the ideal focus to use when it comes to actually releasing music as an independent artist. It's just not helpful to us whatsoever. All right. So again, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time on that because that is something that I believe is very, very important and people should really know more about. SoundCloud is, and another thing, just the last point, when you don't put in your metadata, SoundCloud just pockets the money. They're never going to send it to you or tell you that you need to fill this out or anything. They're not going to say anything. They're going to stay silent and they're going to keep the money. So if you make millions of streams off of a song, they're never going to tell you anything. And again, you won't get paid for it unless you fill that out. But again, all of that is in the video that I shared this link to here. So if you want more information on that, definitely check it out. All right, now to get to Curry's questions here. All right, and Curry says, I'm from Jamaica. What's going on, Jamaica? We're international, yeah. I always love at least one person to actually be from a different country on the live, just so I could say that this live went international. I love it. Thank you for joining in, Curry. Now let's get to your question. All right, so your question here is, when are you going to do a walkthrough video about Symphonic for music promotions? Okay, that's a great question. Now, I do have videos on Symphonic. As far as their promotions and all the promoting things that they offer on Symphonic, I haven't done a video on that yet, Curry, because I personally haven't tried it yet, all right? I'm very, very, very big on only giving information that's tested, only giving information that I have used myself or that I have researched to the utmost, all right? If I don't have that, regardless of what I see online and what other people say, I won't share that information until I see it for myself. I'm big on fact checking, all right? Believe me, there's people on the comments all the time that try to discredit some of the stuff that I'm saying. If I didn't have the backing and the evidence to prove my points, you know, it would be chaos, right? I don't want to give you guys false information, so I haven't done it yet. Will I do it? Absolutely. I am doing it soon because I have been slowly transitioning from DistroKid to Symphonic. It is something that is in the works right now, so I will be taking a part of it. I will be trying it out and all of those different things, and I will be letting you guys know exactly how it works, and I obviously will be doing a walkthrough video for it as well, all right? So that's on the way, but it's not here yet. Thank you for joining in, Jaden or Jadian off of IG. If you have any music industry questions and anybody else who's watching off of IG, join into my YouTube here, and I'll be able to answer any music industry tip questions you may have. Best question that's asked today will get a free gift on me, all right? Let's see what else. Okay, I'm over here. Okay, so Miss Juicy has a question now. What about Bandcamp? Is that a streaming service too? Okay, so let me double check again just to make sure I remember which one is Bandcamp, because I actually looked into Bandcamp very, very recently, and they updated a lot of stuff from the last time I checked with them. Okay, yeah, it's been a while since did I do a video on Bandcamp? Hold on, let me see. The logo looks familiar. I think I did. Hold on. Should you use Bandcamp for artists? I did do it. I only did it a month ago. I'm so terrible. I don't even remember. Okay, here. I'll share the link on here. And to be quite honest, I don't remember the particulars of it, Miss Juicy. I hope I know when I did the video, I got all the information on it. So definitely check out that video for it. And let me just skim through the website really quickly to see. Okay, I do know that. I remember. Okay, so I remember. Great. Okay, so Bandcamp isn't bad. All right. It's not really a streaming service per se. All right. It's more like a website that you can actually create your own profile. All right. And actually sell your music. Sell CDs. Is actually one of the only places that you could still sell CDs on and actually build a fan base on. So think of Bandcamp almost like Facebook for artists, right? So just to give you guys an example here, I'll just click on, one of these artists here like The Who, right? So when you click on them, you see they have their own profile. Everybody will have their own profile. As you can see, the profiles are pretty standard. Of course, you could change the color, put different pictures, different things like that, right? But everybody has their own profile, right? Look, it's like how Facebook used to be, or MySpace for those of you who remember that, right? And basically, you have your own little artist page. You have your music on there. You could sell it for your own prices, your CDs, and Bandcamp will actually make them and send them out to them. It's great for those of you who wants to still sell CDs, all right? Like maybe if you have an older audience and your audience still uses CDs heavily, then Bandcamp would be a great option for you. But it doesn't really count as a streaming service. Sure, I'm sure some artists make a way so that you're able to actually listen to the music on their page, right? But as far as the streaming service particularly, no, that's not what this is. And honestly, not that I'm against websites like this that you could build your profile. Another website that's very similar to this is Reverb Nation, right? Reverb Nation is like Bandcamp, where you could create your own profile, right? You could. Oh, I can't even look. Can I look up an artist? Let me see. I don't know. Let me just put hip hop here. All right, yeah. All right, great. I got somebody. All right. So as you can see, you have your own little profile, just like how it was for Bandcamp. People could play your music on there. They could download your music. They could listen to it. But this won't count as streaming as well. All right. It only counts as streaming if it's on a DSP, which counts as a digital service provider. Now, my take on these type of websites altogether, I'm not against them entirely, especially if you maybe not have the budget to create your own website. But I will always recommend creating your own website and having your own home, because there's nothing better than having your own website, because you could always set your own prices. You can make it look however you want it to look. When you're using things like this, you kind of have to fall into the visual infrastructure of how the website is. Like Facebook, we all have a Facebook page, but all of our pages formatted the same. All of these Reverb Nation pages are formatted the same. All of the Bandcamp pages are formatted the same. Versus when you create your own website, you have literally, you can make whatever you want. I'm gonna go to my artist website right now. Let's pull it up here. Let it load up. Let me see. Fakir Fitness, thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. It's my brother. Thank you for joining in. Again, music industry tip questions. Any of you guys have music industry tip questions, I'm here till 1 to answer any music industry tip questions you guys may have. Anyone joining in from IG, head over to my YouTube, ask the questions in the chat, and you'll be able to get a chance to win a free gift on me. Again, any music industry tip questions you guys want answered today, I'm here to answer them for you. As you can see, this is my artist website here. I built this from scratch. This is officially built. See, it's personalized. I have my music videos on here. I have my music on here, all of that stuff. This is the capabilities that you can do when you have your own website. When you don't, you have to fit into the infrastructure. And as you can see, this is probably more appealing than what anything you're going to see on Bandcamp or Reverb Nation and things like that. And again, you set your own prices. You could set however people are able to listen to it. Like the way I set mines up is when they hit get track, they can actually go listen to it on a streaming service, buy it on Amazon, or buy it directly from my website. This is actually the only place that you could download my music. It's through my website at a different price, right? These are, again, things that you're able to do with your own website, right? So that's why I'll always recommend building a website. Now, I will admit that it's probably going to cost a little bit more to build your own website, right? And to have the website there and to manage it and things like that. But it's still worth it in the end because you'll set yourself apart. You'll look more official, right? When people go to my website, they don't have to put bandcamp.com/connect, right? They don't have to put reverbnation.com/connect. All they got to do is put connectmusic.com, right? It's a different level of professionalism, especially when you're trying to get your music placed, on movies and get sync licensing and all of those different things. You want to bring a level of professionalism so that you never want to be turned down because of professionalism. You want people to look at you and be like, oh no, he looks like a professional. Let me listen to his music. I've seen some people or some higher ups don't even give the music a chance just because the presentation didn't catch them, because the wrong link was sent or whatever the case may be. I've seen that happen all the time. It's pretty ridiculous if you ask me, but it's the reality. These people get a lot of messages and emails and all of this stuff all day long. Only the ones that stand out will get their attention. It's just the reality of life, right? So again, I'm not against them entirely, but it's definitely something that you want to consider and think about before you actually doing. And if you don't have any type of home yet for your music, like no website, no Bandcamp or nothing, get something, right? Because you don't want to just rely on social media. I don't know if you guys remember, but Instagram and Facebook went down twice this year, right? That's crazy because I actually one of the times it went down, it was on a Tuesday. I remembered it because I was literally setting up for the live and I couldn't let everybody know on IG that I was going live today. But you know what I was able to do? I was able to email everybody from my emailing list from my website, right? Because my website doesn't have anything to do with Instagram. That's why it's important to have your own website, because you control that. When the server goes down for Facebook, you're still up and running, right? Because it's your own home, it's your own thing, right? Of course, still beyond those other things as well, but you have to have a home for your business. You don't know what these people are doing. So someone out there in the Facebook building just flipped off the switch. And like, you know what? I'm tired of everybody. Let me turn off IG and Facebook. And everybody went crazy. It was crazy. Not me. I still did my live. I still was able to do everything because, of course, I have my own website, right? So let me see what you guys are saying here. All right, Miss Juicy G said, I just wondered because I know at least a few artists I follow use it. Yes. Definitely share the link to this video with them. Share that SoundCloud link with them as well. Again, it's great for promotions. It's great for exposure, but you're almost shooting yourself in the foot, especially if you're an independent artist, because they could be getting a lot more income in other streaming services and things like that. SoundCloud, don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, or else you'll be in that 9 to 5 forever. You know what I mean? You get the most out of your music every time somebody listens to it, right? All right. Fakir Fitness says, thanks for sharing these examples in Bandcamp. Great breakdown. Appreciate it. Fitness Fakir, your new album is fire. Can you describe your creative process when you write new music? That's such a great question. It's not a music industry tip question, but I feel like I have to answer it. Okay, so my process is very, very different from how most artists, at least I think is very, very different from how most artists work. My music is actually very spirit led, right? I don't actively sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna make music today. It doesn't work like that for me. Typically, I hear a calling, or I'll hear, a bar or two, or I hear a certain instrument in my head, or I hear, just a certain line per se, or a bar per se. I'll hear that, and then from that point, I build upon that, right? Because when it comes to my music, I don't force it, and I try not to force it. If it takes me 10 years to make a song, then it's gonna take me 10 years. But either way, I just don't want to be the only one involved in the process of making my song. I feel like I have to rely on God. Because quite honestly, I don't know where I be coming up with half of this stuff. I have to give the credit to him. All right. You're talking to a guy who failed almost every English class she's ever been in. You get what I'm saying? Words was never my strong suit. I'm a math guy. I'm a stats guy. I could look up numbers and things like that. But when it came to being words, poetry, all of that, it just wasn't my thing. I struggled reading the Iliad and the Odyssey, the Scarlet Letter. Lord of the Flies was difficult for me to read, for crying out loud. Of Mice and Men, I can name all of them. I remember all of them, and they all were difficult, right? The reading was never my strong suit, which is so ironic now, because it's like, now when I get to this writing process and I'm actually writing lyrics now, as soon as I get that spark or get that calling, it comes out so fast and so quickly, right? It's so crazy, because it's like, I guess it's the perfect example of God calls the unqualified and make them qualified, rather than him only calling the qualified, right? I was completely unqualified, and I became qualified as soon as the calling came, right? And, same thing with the disciples. None of those disciples were qualified. They were not qualified to be disciples with Jesus at all. We all know what they were about before they met with Jesus, right? But then afterwards, they became qualified, and I think that's exactly what happened to me. So, yeah, that's my process. It's really just starting from hearing from God, hearing from the Spirit, and then moving from there. Great question. All right. Now Mallory has a question here. She says, do you have opinions on Patreon? A lot of painters use Patreon because you make your own subscription service. Wonder if musicians use it too. This is a great question. I've noticed that Patreon is like the ideal thing for artists, right? I feel like every single, I guess, art department, whether you're talking about painters and graphic designers versus musicians versus sculptors, I feel like they all have their ideal ways of actually getting funds or finding donations and support. All right. Patreon is definitely big for artists. Like, when you think of an artist, you automatically assume that they have a Patreon. You get what I'm saying? Like, for us as musicians, it doesn't really work like that for us. Like, when you think of artists, oh, how can I support that artist? The first thing most people think is, let me go listen to their music, right? If you go to their link, you may see a Cash App, you may see a Venmo, right? You might see a Patreon. You don't see it as often as those things, but there's no really one place that it's like, okay, everybody unanimously knows if you want to support an artist, this is where you do it, right? And I think that's probably what's missing in the music industry. I know that there's a lot of websites that have tried to do that. All right, there's websites that out here right now that do that, right? But I feel like they just haven't reached a certain notoriety yet for every artist to be like, okay, I need an account from here because this is where people go to support artists, right? That none of them have made a big enough name yet, but I do believe in time it will come. But again, in the meantime, have your own website. It's just as simple as that. Have your own website, and they could support you directly from your website by getting your merch, by literally donating directly to from your website. As far as Patreon, I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if they take a cut out of it or anything like that, but I know when you have your own website, that is not something that you have to think about, right? So, yeah, that would be my answer to that. I'm trying to think of, there's this one particular platform that I know Russell is on that's like a Patreon for artists, and I think it's even this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is even. What is it saying? Okay, yeah. Okay, even. Oh gosh, even distribution. I want to say it's even. Yes. Let me see. Okay, that's not it. I don't know what that is. Even. Let me put even music distribution. This is crazy. Okay, even distribution music. Let's try that. Where artists can sell their music. Yeah, this is it right here. So even is a good example of that. All right, you could literally, have your own links. Again, I know LaRussell is part of it. You can have your own links. People could support you directly on Even. But some of you guys on the chat may have never even heard of Even, and you have to pay to have Even. So it's just one of those things. It's just like, no, we don't have one yet that's big enough, or at least well liked enough for everybody. But yeah, it could come sooner or later for sure. Be the Model, what's going on, Teddy? Big shout out to Be the Model. Big shout out to Teddy. As you guys know, he was the director of the GOAT music video, and that music video has been doing absolutely amazing. It's actually the highest viewed video right now on my channel, so big shout out to him. Big shout out to everything that went into making that music video, and I'm so proud of that video. So proud. So let's get to the next question here. How much time? Oh my goodness, I took too much time on SoundCloud. All right, we're gonna power through some of these. We're gonna power through it because I want to make sure a lot of these questions get answered here. They said, like the one day when you were feeling like David. I get it. I got you, Miss Juicy J. That's hilarious. I try to sneak that in almost every day with everybody, so it's funny you said that. That's great. Now, Curry One Co said, Amuse is making a big push west with the Pro Plan Unlimited Artist Profile release. I'm glad you said something about Amuse, Curry. I'm gonna share this with you. Amuse, I don't remember the specifics entirely, but you definitely want to watch this video because there are some things that you need to consider if you are using Amuse, or if you do, or if you're thinking about using it, whatever the case may be. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go over it right now, but definitely check out Amuse, check out this video, and anytime you're looking for any distributor, just type it into this search engine right here. Get familiar with the search engine on my page, because as you guys can see, after this week, I'm going to have 500 videos. After this video is done, I'm going to have 500 videos, right? That's a lot of videos, and it's hard to go through all of them, but you can always search. Use the search bar and just type in, right? See, all I did just now is type in Amuse, and here it came up right here. But as you can see, I've done something on 1 RPM, on Root Note, on Fresh Tunes. I do it for a lot on TuneCore. I talk about music distribution all the time because there's so much out there, and I don't want you guys feeling misled. And I want you guys to at least know all of your options before you actually make a decision for a music distribution company. All right. So great question on that. But yeah, definitely check out that video. So the question here was from Dreamer Girl Baby. And the question is, I know a lot of artists make money off touring and merch. Touring, I get, but I just can't fathom making like $50 each for a hoodie and sweatpants. All right. So here's the thing. I understand the thought process, right? Your thought process is a hoodie and sweatpants aren't that expensive. You can walk into a store right now and get them, and they're probably going to be less than $50. But you have to understand as an artist that when people are supporting you, they are supporting you, right? So They're not buying it because it is a hoodie. They're buying it because they want to support their artist, and that's why they're buying the hoodie, right? Whether it's fashionable or not, it's all about supporting the artist. So there are a lot of people out there that will buy it regardless of the price because they want to support that artist. I remember when Nipsey Hussle dropped the mixtape, and it was genius. I mean, it was only 10 copies of it. Only 10 people were able to get this mixtape that he released, right? He sold it for $1,000 a piece. It was sold out before he even released it, right? Do the math. 10, $1,000 a piece. He made, oh no, I'm sorry, it was 100. It was 100 copies for $1,000 a piece. He made $100,000 in one day because of that, right? People aren't looking at the cost. They were looking at supporting him. And they were probably looking at being the only one of 100 people to have that specific mixtape. But either way, it still goes to the point. When people buy Kanye West's ugly T-shirts that look like trash bags, right? They don't buy it because it looks good. Nobody will ever convince me that they buy it because it looks fashionable. No, they buy it because Kanye West made it and they want to support him. That's why they buy it. It looks like a potato bag, like a bag that you put potatoes in or that you buy potatoes in. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking. If you guys think it look good, I beg to have the debate, right? But it's not about the amount for the supporter, right? It's just they want to support you. They're going to come to you and be like, in what way can I support you other than listening to your music? Okay, you could buy my hoodie. They may not buy it right away, if it's $50, but they may have it in the back of their mind, and, eventually somebody will. So it's not about the price. Merch is very, very important. It's just as important as touring, and merch is the best way to actually sell merch. Or touring is the best way to actually sell merch, right? Because you perform in front of them, they like your performance, they're going to come up to you and they're going to want to support you directly. And if you have somebody at a table with your T-shirts and things like that, you will actually get so much sales in that moment because they got to meet you for the first time. They got to see you perform, and they probably love the song already, right? So touring and merch goes hand in hand. Do not tour without having merchandise. And if you're going to have merchandise, you need to start performing because that's the best way to sell your products for sure. So this was a great question, and I wanted to make sure I get to that as well. All right, let's see. Fakir Fitness says, I love that answer. Thanks for sharing. For sure. SD, thank you for joining in. Please let me know where you're hailing from. I see you guys joining in on IG as well. Some more people are joining in. Join me on YouTube. I'm answering music industry tip questions live on YouTube. Best question that's asked today will get a free gift on me, all right? So SD's question is, could you please tell which is the best music distributor? All right, SD. So see, that was a great question, but it's something that I answer every year, right? Because the first video I drop every year is the best music distribution company for that set year, right? It changes year to year. Why? Because music distributions change, their policies change, their prices change, and all of these things change, right? But as you can see, I did one for 2023. I did one in the beginning of this year, 2024. I'm going to share this link with you, SD, so definitely take a look at that. I'm not going to go over them because we are running out of time, and I want to get as much questions in as possible. But definitely check that video out, and that video will answer that question for you, at least as of this year moving forward. All right, great question. Now, great question, Melody. Did I miss her question? Oh, that was a Patreon question. Yeah, that was a great question. All right, now, Fakir Fitness said, artificial intelligence is steadily growing within the music industry. How will AI aid musicians' creative process during these times and help with their discovery? Great question. Great question. And actually, I got to go big screen on this because not only is this a great question, but there's a lot to talk about when it comes to AI. First and foremost, AI is going to be helpful with the process in so many ways because at the end of the day, it's like having, okay, I'll say it this way. There are a lot of big name artists that when they have writing camps, all right? And what that is they literally get a whole bunch of other people to come into the studio and they all write together, right? They all write together and that artist picks out the best writing stuff from all of them to make a hit song, right? when you ask yourself, how are some of these big artists making so much great music all the time? Well, they have a whole team of writers writing with them, right? If you don't believe me, go check out the credits on some of these albums. Go check out who's credited for writers on some of these things. You will see abundance of writers for so many different songs on so many different projects, right? So many people. So when you're dealing with AI, you don't have to have all of those people, because you have the AI being able to help you write it, and you don't have to actually have all of these other writers in the room with you. And guess what? You don't have to give AI a cut for whatever words or whatever rhymes it comes up with, right? So that's obviously the pro of AI. All right, it'll help out with the process more when it comes to writing. Obviously, it'll expand the ideas and the options and all of those different things. But there is a danger in AI. There is a fear in AI. A good example of that is what's going on right now in hip hop. You know, I don't typically like to get into things, so I'm not going to talk about the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. But recently there was a supposed response or a diss track that Kendrick Lamar released. It was actually AI generated. That means somebody literally wrote the lyrics and generated the voice to sound just like Kendrick Lamar and released it out. And people were already starting to talk about it. It took his camp to literally discredit it and say that's not from us at all, or else it would have been a lot bigger than it was, right? That is the danger of AI. It's the same danger the film industry is facing right now with AI, because a lot of basically they want to start using actors' voices and not paying them for it, because the AI can generate their voices, right? Imagine record labels saying, you know what, Kendrick Lamar, we don't want to pay you anymore because we could just release songs that sound just like you, and people are going to think it's you because it sounds like you. And we could just get the AI to write the rhymes the way you typically write rhymes. This is a real danger that's going on right now in AI. I mean, part of the writer's strike for the film industry was in regards to this. This is coming as well for the music industry. I'm telling you guys right now, it's a lot bigger than people are talking about right now. Universal Music Group separated with TikTok for a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons is because TikTok couldn't secure, or Universal felt that TikTok wasn't doing enough to stop AI when it comes to it, because a lot of people are making money on TikTok by just using AI to make songs that sound like Drake and sound like all of these other people, right? But it's not really them. It's not really them releasing the music. But most people won't be able to tell the difference anyway, right? This is a real danger. So there are some pros to AI, but I ain't gonna lie to you, it's about to be the Terminator. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy real soon. And I just hope that me and Arnold Schwarzenegger are friends when he comes, because you guys already know the saying, I'll be back. Actually, when he came the first time, he was bad. The second one, Judgment Day, when he came in Judgment Day, not the first one, because that man was crazy in the first movie. But yeah, that was a great question, Danny. Great question. I see you, Blackbeard. Thank you for joining in. I see you, General Gnosis. Thank you also for joining in. All right, I'm answering music industry tip questions on YouTube. All right, if you want your question answered and you want a chance to win a free ebook, all right, ask the question on YouTube. I see you, Deanna, you're asking a question on live here. I can answer it on here. I can answer it on IG for you, but that question won't count towards the gift, towards the prize. So if you want a chance to win a prize, go to my YouTube right now and type in that same question that you asked on IG. All right, I'll give you a couple of minutes. If you don't ask it on YouTube, I'll ask it on IG. But again, you won't be able to get the gift, right? Because it looks like it's a good question, but I want everybody to get a chance to get that gift. All right, let's see. Okay, so Curry once said, okay. Mallory said, and the only place that the hoodie exists. Yes, and it's the only place that the hoodie exists. Correct. They're exclusive products. Correct. I forgot to mention that. Thanks, Mal, for making that point. Wait, I bought the Yeezy Pods. You got. That pod probably cost like $20 to make, if not, if less. You got. It's all good, Miss Juicy. We all fall for it. I got a Biggie hoodie here. I bought it because it was just a Biggie hoodie. It probably would have been a lot cheaper if it wasn't a Biggie hoodie. But you know, at the end of the day, that's what we do. We support, right? So yeah, great Get real graphic designers and visual artists, please, when it comes to AI, for sure. Fitness Gear says, that makes sense. So still pros and cons with AI. Thanks for sharing, fam. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day for answering industry questions. Much appreciated. For sure, for sure, for sure. You'll be Bach. I'll be Mozart. That's hilarious. Bach and Mozart. That's hilarious. The artist. Oh, okay. So Zophie. What's it, Zophie? No. It's Starman. Starman's back. Thank you for joining in again, Starman. You're late, but I'm not gonna hold it against you. Thank you for joining in. Peace and blessings. Good to see you again. Let me know how let me know you got some time to ask the music industry questions. You got a couple of minutes left. And Deanna, I don't see that you asked it on the chat here, so I'm going to answer your question. But again, you cannot qualify for the prize because you're not answering it on YouTube, all right? So Deanna's question on IG is, how does a song goes on Billboard charts? And if your song becomes number in the country, how much do you get paid per se? All right, so when it comes to the Billboard, you got to understand that the Billboard is actually, it doesn't include everybody who's actually listening to the music. All right, it only registers everybody that is registering, or everybody that's letting the Billboard know that the music is being played, right? And the Billboard is really popularity. It's you know, the music that's being played the most, and this, that, and the third. So to answer the question on how much do you make if your Billboard is number one, that varies on how many streams you have, how long people has been listening to the music, this, that, and so forth. But I can guarantee you this: if your music is on the Billboards and you're up high on there, like in the top 100 or something like that, you're making a lot off of whatever that song, project, or whatever it is, right? So. And it's almost like focus on the music, get the music right, get your promotions right? And if you do all of that, you'll end up on the billboards, right? But if your focus is the billboards, you'll miss all the steps in between to possibly get on there, right? But understand that getting on the billboard doesn't mean that getting on the billboard isn't the only way to make a living off of your music. You don't have to get that high to not have a 9-to-5 job anymore. There's plenty of artists out here who only do music as their full-time gig, all right, and are able to live off of it successfully. And they're not on the billboards. You probably never even heard of them, right? There's tons of artists out here who are living good off of their music, and most people haven't heard about them. How they're able to do this? They're able to do this is because they're able to find their target audience, whatever age group that is, you know, whatever demographic that is, and cater music to them. And of course, they have the merch and the other things like that so that their core audience can support them, for sure. So a great question, Deanna. Again, unfortunately, you won't qualify for it because you didn't answer on YouTube. But if you still want a chance, just let me know you're on YouTube. Say hi on YouTube, and we could go from there. Thank you guys for joining in on IG. I see you, Prince. I see you, no Zoom. All right. If you guys got any music industry questions, only a couple of minutes left on YouTube. Ask the question on YouTube for a chance to win. All right. I believe. Oh, okay. So Diane did join. Okay, still me, Diane. All right, so Diane did join. And how much will you make if your music is number one? Hey, thank you for joining in. All right, it's the same question. All right, so now you qualify. Good job. I don't know if you have the best question, but you definitely did qualify. All right, now you qualify. Thank you for joining in. Make sure you guys, of course, subscribe to the channel and things like that so you guys don't miss the live. She put it on YouTube on time. She did. She just made the time. Just made the time. But I'm going to answer one more question here because I didn't start at 12 on the dot. So I'm going to ask one more question. Then I'm going to reveal the winner for this week. All right. And there was one of these questions here that I thought was a really, really good question. And I felt like it was my mission to answer it. It's one of these here, so let me see which one it is. Okay, it's this one right here. Okay, so this one is a good question, and it's a clarification question. All right, so the question was on how to register your song with ASCAP. All right, if you have exclusive rights to the beat and it's not is no lease or it's not a lease, does the author get the whole 50%? All right. This is a very, very great question. And the way I'm going to answer this is very, very simple. The rights is different from the credit. There are two separate things, right? The rights means that you have the right to use the beat. You have the right to listen to the song or whatever the case may be. The credit is the credit. Whoever made the beat, they will always get the credit. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys didn't see the question, but here it is right here. All right. If we have exclusive rights to the beat and it's no lease, does the author get the whole 50%? It was asked by Odd Visuals 8785. All right. Again, the rights is separate from the credit. So regardless of who gets the rights or who gets the percentage, the amount of the royalty percentage, the credit is still the credit, right? So at the end of the day, if you did not create the beat, you still have to put the creator of the beat in ASCAP and BMI. They're going to get their credit, even though they may not get any pay from it. They're still going to get their credit. So when it comes to ASCAP, when you are filling out who the composer is, you still have to put their name in as the composer. You still have to give them credit as the person who made the beat, and you still got to give them 50% of the credit of all of the royalties and things like that, right? Now, and again, the exclusive rights, all that means for you is that no other artist can use that beat to make a song with it, right? You're the only one who actually has access to use that beat as a song. Nobody else can use it. That has nothing to do with the royalty that the producer will get off of it or the credit that they will get off of it, right? I hope I'm very, very clear with this. All exclusive rights means is that you're the only one who can use that beat moving forward. Everything else is still the same. The producer still gets the credit and he still gets the percentage. The only time that does not happen and that you get 100% of everything is if you create the beat yourself. That's the only way that you're going to get 100% of everything. At the end of the day, the producer's name will always show up on there. And if you don't put the producer's name on there, you can run into some legal trouble if the producer decides to call you out on it and things like that, especially after the song blows up. It happens all the time. People get sued for this stuff all the time. Give the proper credit to the proper people so that we don't get sued. Why? Because getting sued is counterproductive to making money. That's just as simple as it is, right? But I thank you guys, of course, for joining in. I see Pretty Girl Progression join in on IG. Yo, WesTheTech. Thank you for joining in on IG, as well as Calvary. Just letting you guys know, any music industry tip questions you want answered, you got to do it on YouTube. I'm only on IG for the purpose of letting you guys know to head over to my YouTube and get the questions on here, all right? So now is the final part. Now is the moment where I will go and see who had the best question. All right. I'm starting from the beginning here. I'm scrolling. All right. I see Curry One's question was about symphonic. All right. That was a really good question. All right. Ms. Juicy has some great questions today about Bandcamp. All right. That was a good question. Fitness for Care had a great question about the writing process and the AI. That probably was the best question. The AI, I don't know, guys. I don't know if y'all gonna beat out that question right there. The AI question was a great question. SDs, could you please tell me the best music distributor? That one's a good question, but however, I already have a video on that. So, and if you've been watching my channel and you would have seen that video, you wouldn't have asked that question. So I can't let you get away with that one. Mal had a good question with the Patreons. That was a good question as well. All right. Zophie came in. And, of course, Jay's question with Jaga, a.k.a. Diane's question when it comes to the Billboard was a good question as well. And I was just about to say, Miss Juicy, drum roll, please. So the best question that was asked today, the best question that was, in fact, asked today is going to go to Oh, before I do that, LD40 Productions. I don't know why I missed it, But I see that you had Jordan, what up, Wes, and chat question. I am so sorry about that. What's going on? I have to always shout out all of my returning guests. My bad, LD40. I didn't see that earlier. I didn't want to make the announcement before I acknowledged that I did see you join in here. Big shout out to you. I just seen your icon, your logo there, and I just wanted to let you know I see you and I appreciate you for joining in again. For sure, for sure. All right, so back to the drum roll. No more hesitations. All right, drum roll, please. So the winner of today, the best question that was asked today is going to go to, drum roll, Fakir Fitness. He asked the best question today. Big congrats to you, brother. The AI question was a great question. I ain't even gonna front. It's ideal. And typically how it works with me is the best question, any question that leads me to want to make another video, right, is typically the question that wins, because I'm probably going to make that video, if not this week, the week after, right? I love finding new content to make, new videos to make to help out other people. And I got to make a video about AI and just everything that people have to keep in mind when it comes to AI moving forward. So that was a great question, Fakir Fitness. Great question. You actually are the winner of the ebook. Big congrats to you. Great questions for everybody else. Of course, you could tune in next week on Tuesday at noon to get your questions answered and have a chance to win as well. All right. Again, for those of you who are IG, if you want a chance to win something as well, just make sure that you guys are joining in on the YouTube. All right, because YouTube is where I am primarily. I'm just on IG to let you guys know I'm on YouTube. All right. So big congrats. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I'm disqualified. I won before. Give it to the second best. Did you win? I think you did. Did you win before? Okay. We could do that. All right. So second best question asked. Let's see. I don't even remember you winning. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Second best question would then have to go to, drum roll again. And big shout out to Fakir Fitness for being honest, because I don't even remember him winning one, but apparently he did. Big shout out to him. You guys got to step your game up. He's winning back to back. That boy going back to back. All right, so question would have to go to, nah, this one's tough. Now we have a problem. That was a good question. I'm settled. It's settled. Yep. All right. Thank you, Fitness Fakir. Thank you for saying that. Right. Second best, the runner-up prize, which is now going to be the grand prize, is going to go to Miss Juicy G with the band camp question. That was a great question. That was a great question. That obviously led me to do a whole tangent on talking about Bandcamp and Reverb Nation and all of those different things and websites and everything like that. That took about 20 minutes of the live today, so I definitely have to give it to that as the second best question answered. And I believe I already have your contact information on IG, so I'm going to be sending you the link to that, all right, for the ebook. Again, it's absolutely free. I'm going to be sending it over to you. All right, I'm going to be sending you a promo link, and you're going to be able to download it. Yes, what? Yes, you won. You won. Big congrats to you. You won. Daddy Fakir Fitness disqualified himself. All right, he is a man of honor. He is a man of power and integrity, right? Because he admitted that he's won already, and he already has it. So he wanted to give it to the second best. So big shout out to him, and big shout out to you for winning, and big shout out for everybody else who joined in today. And Jaga or Jaga, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but thank you for joining in for the first time, and all of our other first-time guests. I'm gonna make sure you follow me on IG. I'll follow back. Jaga, I'm not sure if I have you on IG yet. And, of course, everybody, make sure you subscribe. But I'm going to bring this live to an end now, of course. Fakir Fitness. All right, celebrate it. I did send you a yes, you did. A huge tangent. I was going straight, and all of a sudden, big old tangent that took the whole live away from me because of that question. But it was a great question. And I'm happy you won. All right, you're a big supporter. I always appreciate you for sure, for sure. And yeah, congratulations on the win. And I'm sure there's somebody that would be able to use that as well. So big shout out to that. And again, guys, last thing, I always got to mention my membership club here, right? Priority responses to comments, members only exclusive walkthrough videos, month-to-month music business coaching sessions, one-on-one. All you got to do is hit the join button on the bottom of the video here. All right, so you can check out all the different perks and see what perks works best for you guys. But I thank everybody, of course, for joining in today on the live. Don't forget, this Thursday, my tech tip is going to come out as usual. And I'll be back on here next Tuesday, same time at noon. Thank you all for joining in. Big congrats to Miss Juicy G. Thank you for everybody else for joining in. And I'll see you guys next week. Later, everybody. Yo, yo, yo.